third child.
Uh-huh.
His body is in the car, is strangled.
Wait, you have a body in the car right now?
Yes.
Okay.
This is 53-year-old Indian immigrant Shankar Nagupa, a man calmly driving through California with his son's rotting body in the back of his car. What detectives don't yet know is that this drive only began after he had already killed the rest of his family over the span of 6 days.
How did you kill
I hanged them.
You hanged them. Okay, how were you able to hang them?
The fan, with a rope.
What seemed like confusion or even an episode of hallucination slowly turns into the confession of a man who carried out one of the most gruesome, cold, and calculated crimes the detectives would ever come across. In early October 2019, something began unfolding behind the closed doors of a quiet apartment in Roseville, California. Over the course of several days, Shankar murdered his wife and 2 of his children, one by one, each death happening in silence, unnoticed by the outside world. What makes those days especially disturbing is that life inside the apartment did not appear to stop. The home remained closed, the neighborhood unaware, while his eldest son was still alive inside, moving through the same space without knowing what had already happened. Nearly a week later, on October 13, 2019, the final chapter moved far beyond that apartment. Shankar took his eldest son on a long drive north toward the small town of Mount Shasta. From their apartment in Roseville, he drove approximately 277 miles, a journey lasting nearly 4 hours and 20 minutes, traveling deep into the rural stretches of Siskiyou County, California. Somewhere along that remote route, far from witnesses or help, the last life was also taken. After killing his eldest son in a rural area of Siskiyou County, Shankar did not stop or flee. Instead, he continued driving another 40 miles to Mount Shasta. There, he walked into the police station to confess. This is not someone running from the law. This is someone walking straight into it. What happened inside the confession room led investigators to ask whether this was guilt or a carefully calculated act.
Okay, let's just start from the beginning. Okay, so who are you?
My name is Shankar Hanbut, S-H.
Do you have any ID on you?
It's in the car.
What's in the car? Okay, how do you spell your name?
S-H-A-N-K-A-R.
K-A-R, okay.
Last name H-A-N-G-U-D.
Okay, so you said that you...
I am surrendering for the murder of my wife and 3 children.
Excuse me.
Okay, what was your wife's name?
Jyoti, J-Y-O-T-H-I.
Okay, and you said your 3 kids?
Yes.
Okay, so the 3 children, what were your 3 children's names?
Sure. The first one is Varun, V-A-R-U-N.
V-A-R-U-N, okay.
Did this happen in Roseville, sir?
Yes.
Roseville, California.
All right. And when did this happen?
7th, 8th, and 9th
7th, 8th, and 9th of this month?
of this month.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, how did you kill
I hanged them.
You hanged them. Okay, how were you able to hang them?
The fan, with a rope. And the 4th person, which is my 3rd child,
Uh-huh.
his body is in the car, is strangled.
Wait, you have a body in the car right now?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, no, hold on. We'll,
The car is parked right next to the fire station.
okay. Is there any weapons that I should be concerned about? Do you have any weapons on you?
There are 2 knives. I thought of killing myself, then I said, no, that is wrong. I should not.
Okay, we'll turn yourself in to
What I did
justice.
to them, I should suffer.
Okay. Do you mind if I pat you down real quick? Make sure you don't have any
Please do.
weapons? Okay.
Sure,
Why don't you turn around for me real quick, okay?
not a problem.
Alright.
If I didn't have any intentions, I would not have come here.
Okay, no, that's fine. Alright, so why don't you show me where the car's at, okay?
I have a gas lighter, some money.
No, that's fine. Why don't you show me where the car's at?
Sure,
Okay.
let's walk down. Shall I leave it here?
Hey, Sarge. He's got a 1144 allegedly in a vehicle out here down the street. It's got an 1144 in a car down the street. Okay. I'm going to have you turn around for me, okay? Yeah, all right. So I'm just detaining you right now. I'm going to go take a look at your car. So where was your car parked at?
Just next to the gas station.
Next-
It's a red Mazda. You can't.
Red Mazda.
Next to the gas station. Sorry, not gas station. Fire station.
Okay. I got keys, Sarge. You need the keys, pop the trunk? He's giving us permission.
It's not in the trunk. It's in the car.
In the car.
You're just sitting in the car?
Yeah. Male boy, 20 years old.
Okay. Why don't we walk in here, okay? Hey, Judd, can you grab his change there for me? Thank you. All right. I'm going to see here. Actually, we'll walk you over this way, okay? All right. We're going to go take a right here, okay?
Hey, Judd, no more questions on him.
Can I get some water, please?
Oh, yeah, we'll get you some water. Here, why don't you take a seat here, okay?
Sure.
All right. Judd, you want me to just Mirandize?
Nope.
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 All right, just take a seat for me, okay?
You sit down.
Okay. Yep. All right, we're going to hang tight real quick, okay, sir? All right. Just let him know.
The confession itself was no longer in doubt. Shankar had already admitted to killing his wife and children. What detectives needed next was a clear understanding of how the crime unfolded, the sequence, the timing, and the choices made along the way. As the questioning continued, Shankar began to describe those details, allowing investigators to slowly piece together the full scope of what had happened.
So, obviously you've been here for a while and you've been in a jail cell, so I want to read your rights, okay? Obviously it's been kind of a rough day. I just kind of want to find out, obviously, what led you up to this point and kind of what happened.
I was with him the whole day after I strangulated. Thought of many options. Even I thought of strangulating myself. I put them in so much pain. I deserve a lot more punishment.
And that's when you decided to come in here?
Yes. I had driven by this place. I'd gone to the park there with my son yesterday to get some water. So I had seen the police strangle my son. I said, my car did not have gas to drive to those rooms. And I did not have money. All I had was $4.25. I don't want death penalty. No, that is easy.
Yeah. It sounds like you feel bad for...
I feel miserable for putting them through what I did. But I deserve the worst. Strangulating myself is easy. No, I don't deserve easy.
Yeah.
I want my brother to come and take the bodies and cremate them. But I don't want to meet anybody. No visitors, no lawyers. I want punishment. I don't want to meet my brother.
You don't want to meet your brother?
I don't want to meet anybody. I let him come, take the bodies and cremate them.
As the interview continued, Shankar spoke calmly about the days leading up to the murders. He described a life he felt was unraveling, marked by pressure, frustration, and a growing sense of loss of control. His voice remained steady, almost detached. Before describing what he had done, he made a strange request, as if he wanted the truth to disappear just as quietly as they had. Most telling was how he spoke about his own death. When he had the chance to die, he stopped. He decided it was too easy and allowed himself time to reconsider. That moment of hesitation wasn't about guilt. It was about control. He wanted to choose when it ended, not just for himself, but for everyone around him. His wife and children were never given that choice. Psychologically, the contrast is stark. He preserved agency and restraint for himself, while denying both entirely from them.
So what I want to do is kind of go back. I want to go through kind of the timeline just a little slower.
10 number of times you can do it. I'll try to remember it as much as possible. Don't ask me dates, because after this 9th, I lost track of date. I don't know what today is. I think today is 13th or maybe the 14th. I'm not sure.
It's the 14th day. So you mentioned you discussed this on the 3rd, you thought, with your family.
I informed my kids on the 29th.
Okay. The 29th that you were planning on.
On 29th, I said, you know what? I do not have not found a job. My plan is to end our lives. So I gave them an option to brood it over, whether they want to die with us or whether they want to live by themselves. My daughter wanted to, but I knew she didn't stand a chance.
Your daughter was.
My daughter and my youngest son were apprehensive because they were full of life.
Yeah.
She was working in Gap Kids. She was studying in Wood Creek Elementary. Not elementary, Wood Creek High. She was getting A's. All A's this year. Don't be nice to me. I'm not a nice guy. A horrible person. So they were thinking they can live by themselves. I told them, you guys don't stand a chance. By the 10th of the month, I'll be kicked out of this apartment. It's not a nice time of the year to be on the streets begging for food.
You mentioned that your two youngest were apprehensive about it.
Yes.
How did your oldest feel about that?
My oldest was thinking. He didn't talk to us. He tried to do research. He told me that day before yesterday. He did research on Craigslist saying that how much does it cost for him to live by himself? How much does it cost for him to pay for insurance for his car?
How was he doing research? Was that, what?
With a laptop. He has got a laptop for his phone.
Where is that?
It's at home.
At home.
At home. Have you gone home?
Yeah.
Have you not seen the laptop?
Well, we've been driving, so I haven't been there. I know some other officers are there.
Let me tell you. The master bedroom is where my wife used to sleep. The barricade part was still there. If you have to remove the body, you have to take the barricade away.
Why did she have it barricaded?
She was in pain, so we would hardly talk. She would hardly come downstairs. Probably about a month and a half ago, she stopped eating. And whenever she felt hungry, she used to ask my daughter. So my interaction with my wife was almost negligible. In the other bedroom, I used to sleep with my little son. And downstairs on the sofa, my daughter and my son used to sleep. It was not the best of arrangements. I told my wife that, but now once again, in that other bedroom, figure out how much does it cost. If I had to just get a room as a Cadillac dealership or some dealership he was working in, while he was studying in.
Oh, he was trying to get in?
No, he already got
he did get it.
If you check his phone, you will see the messages. So he said, Dad, with what I'm working, I will not be able to. But the other two little ones, they did not know. And my little one, he didn't have a clue that he was in 8th grade and never came home and studied at home. He said, no, Dad, I can survive. I'm good at studies, Dad. I want to finish my. They all agreed. My two kids convinced my little one.
When the detectives asked him to go back further, Shankar began describing the atmosphere inside the apartment. He spoke about the isolation within the home, strained relationships, and a family no longer functioning together. He explained where each person slept and how daily routines had changed. These details seemed ordinary at first, but together they revealed a household marked by separation and emotional distance long before the violence began. What this reveals is not chaos, but disengagement. His recollection lacks emotion and focuses on logistics, suggesting a mindset already pulling away from the people around him. Psychologically, this kind of detachment often precedes violence, as emotional bonds are replaced with distance and justification.
Who would answer that phone?
It would either be my sister or my sister-in-law.
I think you said it wasn't until the 6th that your wife really started talking to you?
Second that she was not talking to me, but she was still she had a lot of animosity and anger. We had a lot of misunderstanding.
Why was she angry at you?
Basically, it all started off way back in 2012. It is when my depression started off and their non-acceptance of my wife. She did not like the way they treated her. And that anger, by that time I had already left all my relationships. I had stopped talking to my mother at that point. But she did not like it. Yes. You're like your brother when you do this. You're like your sister-in-law when you do this. So I stopped everything. Talking to people, making friends, listening to me. I said, if I make my wife happy, but that anger turned around on me and she started yelling and screaming at me. She was angry. That kind of, when I was depressed, I didn't know what I did. So she felt that I was trying to listen to my family. I tried to patch up over the period of time, so we had our ups and downs.
So you were arguing a lot from 2011 on to.
No, our argument started from the second day of our marriage, not something new. But I tried my level best to improve it. She thought of her way of improving it. I thought my way was better. So here we are. She's dead. I'm alive.
She's dead in what?
I'm alive.
So let's go back. We kind of got off topic a little bit. We were talking about on the 6th, I believe. It was finally decided that you were going to kill her.
I'll go to help her in her hanging
Help.
process.
Okay.
She wanted to do it.
Okay.
Yes, me killing is the right one.
And how did that happen? I think you mentioned she tied the noose or the rope.
See, what happened was, on 6th, we all had a nice dinner. We went to bed.
And then it was just a nice dinner at home.
No,
Or you usually go out
I went out and bought food
in Roseville.
in Roseville.
So you just brought it home,
Right.
and then you had a nice dinner.
Yes.
You and your wife and your 3 kids were all there. And what was the topic of the conversation for dinner?
My daughter was on Instagram. My son on the eldest one on saying, Dad, now that I'm going to die, I have been saving money. I want to buy that and play that game and win that game is what he said. He bought it. I did not.
Okay, your oldest son. Bob.
My oldest son bought it. And they were playing the game. At that point in time, my wife was going through my WhatsApp conversations with my brother and my other family members to see if I was cheating on her. Was I listening to them? Was I doing something wrong against her? She never believed me. She never trusted me. So she was going through, or she spent the whole night going through my WhatsApp conversations with my family. It was not a conversation, to be very frank. It was my family members sending photographs, wishing me for some festival, birthday, things like that, asking questions. How was everybody? They would probably have 100 posts. So she went through that and she felt kind of happy, saying that, oh, made her feel happy that I didn't do anything wrong for her. I never intended to do wrong. I never wished bad for anybody. Ever. Even when the officer here was sneezing, I wished him, bless you, fine. I never wished bad.
At this point in the interview, detectives shifted away from the apartment and began asking about Shankar's past. They were no longer focused on where events happened, but on how they began. What they were looking for was not a single argument, but a pattern. Shankar spoke about years of emotional strain and unresolved conflict, describing it as constant and familiar. His tone remained steady, suggesting these pressures had become normalized. As the questions continued, it became clear that what followed was not sudden or impulsive. The pressure had been building quietly over time. Investigators later learned that this strain was not only emotional. Court records showed that in the weeks before the murders, Shankar was facing a federal tax lien of more than $178,000, a debt he could not resolve or escape. When the numbers on the page became more real than the people in his home, his family stopped being individuals and started being variables in a decision he'd already made. For him, it marked exposure, failure, and the collapse of his identity as a provider. From that point on, the future he imagined began to disappear.
There was hardly any conversation. You went into the morning, you went to bed. For my son,
Varun said he needed some time. I think
he
before we
needed some
left.
time. The chairs, the stools that I have in my house is not enough to the garage. So,
What were you going to tie the rope in the garage for Varun?
garage opener?
Okay. The garage door opener that opens the big door.
So the controller for
Yeah.
that is there, right? It is in the center.
Yeah.
Put that.
You were gonna try that. Okay. But you realized that wasn't gonna support his weight.
No, I did not realize that.
Okay. Oh, you actually tried to do it, right?
I never realized that. So, but it was at a height, and the chair was too short for that.
Okay.
So I told her, no, we need to go and ladder.
Okay.
Make sure it's not too hot. I think it just feels warm.
Who imagine a blanket? Did that blanket by any chance?
No, probably not.
Thank you, sir. That was good.
Good. Not a little better. So you were gonna get a ladder.
So we went to
The one on Fairway.
first comes the lowest, then comes the Home Depot.
Okay.
So check the prices.
So you bought a ladder for Home Depot.
Got a letter from Home Depot.
And that would be on the 8th.
9.
Oh, that was the next day. Where'd you guys sleep that night? Upstairs in the
So
bed.
when I was sleeping, I was writing out my thoughts.
Were you writing during that?
Yes, I was updating that chronicles I was mentioning to you. And I wrote an email to my brother too. If you open the laptop, you will see that email.
You didn't send it though.
I did not send it. Because the plan was to send it after we all died.
Okay.
Or after the kids died and just before me hanging myself. So that did not happen. And in the meantime, as non-payment, Xfinity cancelled my internet connection, so that also went away.
So what time did you go to Home Depot and Lowe's? And then you bought that ladder? What kind of ladder is it? Like the A-frame? Like the ones that...
No, not those big, huge, cumbersome ones. No, there is a little
Like a step stool?
kind of a large step stool,
Okay.
which can...
Like a smaller ladder or large step stool.
I look for those huge ladders, or like, I would like to back trace myself. Yeah, I have spent 5 nights outside.
So I just kind of asked you...
Yesterday morning is when I strangled her.
Yesterday morning.
13th morning around 10:30 is when I strangled.
So that puts us... So, on the 9th,
9th morning,
you end up in Oroville that night?
no, 9th morning is when I put the noose around my roots.
Okay.
And the garage. And I put the chair.
And that was morning after you went to Lowe's?
I don't know whether I
Or
went to
after.
Lowe's on 9th or on 8th
Oh, okay.
afternoon itself. I think so, it was the 8th afternoon.
Okay.
Okay,
And then the 9th is when...
9th is when I did that, and the rope snapped. Then
What
I said,
happened?
In Shankar's mind, a plan began to form, one that made sense only to him. He started to believe that if he could not fix what he felt was broken beyond repair, the only way forward was to end not just his own life, but his family's as well. For years, Shankar had seen himself as the provider, the one responsible for holding everything together. His sense of worth was tied to success and stability, and as that foundation began to fall apart, it felt to him like everything else in his life was falling apart too.
this is wrong. No, it is so easy. Put through them how many years? My wife, I got married in 97. 22 years she has suffered. For some reason or the other, all my children are suffering. No, I deserve worse. Sorry. It's not that easy. It's not that simple. If I die, no. I could have ran away. Could have left the car, gone somewhere. I did not do any of that. I said, no, I will come park right next to the police station.
So you drove here and then...
I drove,
came in.
just parked next. You see the car?
Yeah, I saw it.
I arrived, parked it right there, walked in, and told the lady. And she had a shock of my life. And she saw me, said, fine, okay.
The full timeline had now taken shape, as what initially sounded like scattered fragments came together into a clear and deliberate sequence of events. The killings did not occur in a single moment, but unfolded over several days. The first deaths took place on October 7, 2019, inside the Roseville apartment, where Shankar killed his wife and one of his younger children, followed by the death of another child the very next day in the same home. To complete 1 week of horror, on October 13, 2019, Shankar took his eldest son on a long drive more than 200 miles north to the small town of Mount Shasta. Somewhere along the journey, he strangled his son to death.
What do you think should happen to somebody that kills somebody?
It should be easier. They should not kill people. That is easy. I could have strangled myself. That is the equivalent of death. Actually, in my letter, I had written saying that the punishment for murdering 4 people is death penalty, and I'm going to give it to myself.
You say you looked that up?
I wrote that up.
Oh, you wrote that?
It's there in my laptop.
You seem like you're thinking very clearly through this process.
Yes.
You planned kind of what was going to happen.
I don't know how many jobs I applied for. I don't know how many interviews I attended. Got it.
Yeah.
So I said no.
What kind of work were you doing?
I'm supposed to be a data architect, a specialist in managing data. Let's not go by positions.
What's that?
Let's not go by positions, I said. I'm sorry.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health problems?
As the detectives listened, one thing became painfully clear. This wasn't confusion or a breakdown. There was no panic in his voice, no frantic excuses, just a man reconstructing his own logic as if he were explaining a decision he'd already made long before he ever sat in that room. Shankar spoke like a man who believed he had the right to control everything: his life, his family, even their deaths. It was a chilling mix of pride, patriarchy, and pressure, the kind of mindset where one man decides he knows what's best for everyone, even if it destroys them. 2 years after the killings, the case reached its final chapter in court. In September 2021, Shankar Nagupa Hungud pleaded guilty to 3 counts of first-degree murder for the deaths of his children, along with an additional charge relating to his wife's death. The guilty plea brought an end to any trial proceedings and formally accepted responsibility for what had happened. In November 2021, sentencing followed. The court imposed 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Prosecutors emphasized that the crimes were not the result of a sudden emotional break, but a series of deliberate and calculated acts carried out over multiple days. Today, Shankar is serving his sentence within the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, where he will remain incarcerated for the rest of his life.